What's going on? What's going on, y'all? We back again. Welcome to the morning shift with Corey Cofield, where we shift your perspective today. It's going to be a really good day. We're going to be going over on how to reprogram the subconscious mind. I think that's very important in order to grow. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. How do you reprogram the subconscious mind? That's going to be our presentation today. Thank y'all for joining Corey Cofield this morning in the morning shift. So today going to be awesome. We're going to be sharing some information from a great person, a great doctor named Dr. Bruce Lipton. Dr. Bruce Lipton is going to be demonstrating to us some powerful truths on how to reprogram the subconscious mind. And I think it's imperative. Let me clean this camera for TikTok here. Let me clean this. TikTok. There you go. There y'all go. God day, TikTok. Look, we about to get started. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be listening to Dr. Bruce Lipton, how to reprogram the subconscious mind. This is a 13-minute video. I hope y'all like it. Here we go.
95% of our life is coming from the programs of how to live life that we get in the first 7 years of life. And that's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich. The movie The Matrix is not science fiction. It's a documentary. Every human, and it's a fact, every human first 7 years is download hypnosis. The brain of a child under 7 is in a lower vibrational frequency. When you put wires on a person's head, you read electroencephalograph, reading brain activity. A child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. Oh, that's how kids play a tea party with mud pies. But to them, it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom. It's a horse. That's theta, imagination. Theta is also hypnosis. And the idea is this: before you can become conscious, if you don't have any programs, what are you going to be conscious of? So nature makes the first 7 years. What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch. You watch your parents, you watch your siblings and your community, because you have to learn how many 100,000 rules. Think about it. Just to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community, there are rules. Teach an infant these rules. You don't have to. First 7 years, they observe it and just download it. And then I say, well, why is it relevant? Because this is the unfortunate fact. 95% of our life comes from those programs in the subconscious. Every day, only about 5% of their life are you using conscious, which is creative. 5%. And you don't see it because it's called subconscious, below conscious. And the Jesuits for 400 years, they were boasting. People didn't understand. They say, give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And 95% of your life after that will be whatever that program is. A child isn't functioning in consciousness until after 7. Before 7 is direct record. Whatever you just said, I just recorded it. So if the parent gets mad at the child, says, you don't deserve that, you don't deserve this, go. The child is not consciously understanding what you mean. Child just recorded, I do not deserve. Now, if I hear that several times, especially in an emotional situation, because that downloads it faster. Now I'm 40, 50 years old. What is my behavior 95% of the time? And the answer is, well, it comes from the program. I do not deserve. Well, that means unconsciously, I will sabotage myself to make sure that the program is correct. I'm making the program true by adjusting the behavior to meet the program. Look, this is not new. I mean, there's a famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And basically said you come from a poor family and you could struggle your whole life and try to get rich, but you're not going to make it. And if you come from a rich family, you could be stupid your whole life and make it. Not because it was thinking, but it was unconscious behavior that was downloaded from rich families into kids, which is unconscious. So they're making the right moves unconsciously. If they engage their conscious mind, then they look stupid, but it's unconscious. And that's the same thing with poor people. Poor people have beliefs from the family. Oh, you can't make it. Life's a struggle. Things are hard. Who do you think you are? And if that's the program you get, then 95% of the day, you will sabotage yourself. And that's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich, because the programming. Before I put this knowledge into effect, and I use the word put into effect. Why? I had the knowledge academically. It's like, oh my God, look at the research. What does it mean? I understood it from the level. And with all that knowledge, it didn't change my life. People read self-help books. I go, wow, you read the book. You got a lot of knowledge. I say, is your life changed? No, but you got a lot of knowledge. And so here's the difference. The conscious mind is creative and can learn in any number of ways. Read a self-help book, go to a lecture, listen to this, and conscious mind's going to get some awareness. And I go, yeah, but subconscious mind doesn't learn that way. Subconscious mind learns in two fundamental ways naturally. Hypnosis, which is the first 7 years. And after age 7, how do you put new programs in? Repetition, practice. You want to drive a car? You didn't learn how by just getting in the seat and put the key in. You had to practice driving the car. You want to learn the alphabet. How many times did you go from A to Z? Try to go to A to Z before you can complete it. And once you completed it, you didn't have to go back and do it again. So 2 phases. You want to train the subconscious mind, hypnosis, repetition. I like the last one because there's a new phrase that's bandied about called fake it till you make it. Meaning if you're not a happy person, I say, you want to be a happy person? Then repeat all the time. I'm happy. I'm happy. I say, well, you don't look happy or anything. I say, no, who am I talking to? By repetition, I'm talking to subconscious. If subconscious gets, I am happy, and 95% of your life comes from that subconscious, there will be a point once the subconscious got, I am happy, you don't have to say it again. It'll be automatic. It's repetitive. That's the secret part. Putting a sticky note on the refrigerator is more like a suggestion, but it's not a repetition. So it doesn't work very well. Repetition is a habit. It's making habit. So you got to do something religiously in the sense of repeating it to make it work. Every night when you go to bed, just when you're falling off into sleep, consciousness is disconnecting. The next period of your brain operation while your consciousness is disconnected is theta, which is the same brain function as in the first 7 years. So if you put a pair of earphones on at night with a program of what you would like to be true in your life, as soon as your conscious mind disconnects, that program is playing. It's not playing into your conscious mind. That's shut off. It's now going straight into the subconscious mind. So it's called auto hypnosis. You don't need to go see a hypnotherapist. You just have to pick out what program would you like to have that you don't have. 95% of your life is coming from the subconscious. Your life is a printout of your subconscious behavior. Oh, so you don't have to try and think about what happened. I just say, look at your life. The things you like that come into your life come in because you have a program that supports them. But anything you struggle with, work hard at, put a lot of effort into making it happen, why you're working so hard, inevitably you have a program that doesn't support that conclusion and you're trying to override the program. So you don't need to do a lot of strength and psychology stuff. You just look at your life and say, where am I struggling? Because wherever you're struggling, inevitably it's a program in your subconscious that does not support that destination you've been looking for. I had to deal with the issue of teaching medical students and going into the classroom. Teaching conventional curriculum is the old genes control life story. And so I go in there and teach that to medical students. But when I'd go back in my lab and look at my research on stem cells, my research revealed conclusively that the environment in which the cells live determine genetic activity. So it's complete opposite of what I was teaching in medical school. And the difference is profound. The conventional story, almost everybody's programmed with genes turn on and off, and then they control the character of your life. And if you buy that story, which I did and which I was teaching, it really means that we're victims of our heredity. We didn't pick the genes as far as we know. You don't like the traits, you can't change the genes, and the genes appear to turn on and off by themselves. All of a sudden you see your life is not under your control, it's under the control of the genes. And a lot of people feel that way looking at their family history and going, oh my goodness, I might have the genes for cancer or whatever it is. Since consciousness is involved, if once I feed you with an idea that you are susceptible to something, look, I can feed you with an idea that this pill that we just got from the pharmaceutical company, it's the greatest, best thing for your issue. And I give you this pill and you get better. And then later you find out it was a sugar pill and everybody goes, yeah, that's called the placebo effect. And I go, what does it really mean? You didn't get healed by the pill. You got healed by the belief in the pill. Well, yeah, that's what placebo is all about. And at least 1/3, minimum of 1/3 of all medical intervention is, it's the placebo effect where the healing comes from. Everybody goes, yeah, I know about the placebo. I go, yeah, but that's a result of positive thinking. What about negative thinking? And this is what we don't talk about, but the reality is it's equally powerful in regard to affecting your biology as is positive thinking, but it works in the opposite direction. A negative thought is called the nocebo effect, can cause any disease and you can die. If you believe you're going to die, you can die from the belief. Here's a simple fact. Stress causes at least up to 90% of doctor visits. How can stress do this? And the answer is very simple. Stress causes a hormone called cortisol to be released in the body. So what does cortisol do? Number one, it causes the blood in the viscera, the guts, where maintenance of the body and healing comes from all the organs. It causes the blood vessels to shut down because it pushes the blood to the arms and legs. Why? Stress means you're ready to run, fight or flight. So you push the energy to where you need it, arms and legs. Well, where do you get it from? Well, you squeeze the blood vessels in the gut. Well, this is growth. The viscera is growth. That's what the organs are for. Arms and legs are for protection. If I'm in protection, I shut off growth. And more importantly, stress hormones shut off the immune system. The reason it's just energy. The idea is if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger and you have a bacterial infection, how do you want to split the energy? How much energy you want to run away and how much you want to fight the with the immune system? The answer is the hell with the bacterium. I mean, if the tiger catches you, the bacteria is useless. It's meaningless, So when you're in stress hormones shut down the immune system to conserve energy. Does the immune system use energy? Of course. If you've ever been really sick, you never even got out of bed, you have no energy. And if you're in fight or flight mode, you need the energy to deal with the world. So stress hormones physically shut off the immune system. When you're under stress, that's when sickness starts to show up. In fact, it's so good at shutting off the immune system, doctors give patients who are going to receive a foreign organ, a graft of a kidney or a lung or whatever they're grafting, that's foreign tissue. If you put a foreign organ in your body, your immune system's job is to eliminate it. So as they're transplanting an organ, they give the patient stress hormones at the same time because stress hormones will shut off the immune system so the organ won't be rejected right away. That's how effective it is. It's used therapeutically to shut off the immune system. Yeah, but everybody out there in this world right now, with a small exception, is under some level of stress. Every one of those people is dripping stress hormones continuously in their body, and those hormones inhibit the immune system, and the result is illness. And if you stop the growth, you say, yeah, but I'm an adult, I don't need to grow. And I say, yeah, but you have to replace hundreds of billions of cells that you lose every day. So we really have to watch out because, as psychologists would tell us, 70% or more of our thoughts are negative and redundant, replaying the same negative thoughts. I go, if thoughts had nothing to do with it, fine. But thoughts, positive or negative, shape our biology. And all of a sudden it says, well, now it's time to wake up because our negative thinking is manifesting a negative life experience. But it's not just me saying this. It was me saying this when I first started doing this work in 1970. And my research was repeatable every day. I could take stem cells are embryonic cells, so they have no potential until you put them in an environment. And then depending on the culture medium, by the chemistry of the culture medium, I can make the cell become a muscle cell, change the culture medium, make the same cell become a bone cell, or change it again and make the same cell become a fat cell. And genetically, the cell is the same. It was the environment that I was changing. And I started talking about that long before the new science called epigenetics had come into vogue, which was 1990. So I was like 20 years ahead. And of course, for much of that time, my colleagues looked at me like I was a crazy guy because everybody knew the conventional dogma. And I was, coming up with a whole different line of belief about it. And now it's come into mainstream. The only problem is this: when you invest so much money into a belief system, and then a belief system isn't really right, you try to hold on as long as you can because you spend hundreds of billions of dollars in this belief. You don't want to just go, oh, okay, we'll just change it. So it's a struggle, but the reality is coming forward and the public is just becoming aware of it. And it's a revolution because if you believe genes control your life, you're a victim of your heredity. When I say epigenetic control, almost sounds the same, but epi means above. So when I say epigenetic control, literally it's control above the genes. And this is what we now recognize, that the environment, and very specifically our perception of the environment, changes our genetic activity. So that means, well, wait, that's not a victim because I can change my environment. I can change my perception. And all of a sudden, if I can do that, then I can control my genes. Well, we're going from victim to mastery, from genetics to epigenetics.
That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. Thank y'all for watching that. Look, this stuff is super important, what I'm talking about here. Okay, I gotta find how to flip this camera from for TikTok. But look, let me tell y'all something. Reprogramming your subconscious mind is one of the most powerful things that you can ever do, right? Period. Because, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out how. Here you go. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm on TikTok as well, y'all, so I got to flip this camera. And so we all get the information. That's what we're here to do. Everybody gets the information. So how many times we grow up not knowing that we can control our thoughts and we can control our subconscious mind, right? We heard some powerful stuff by Dr. Bruce Lipton, right? And most of it was, he talked about that over 70% of our thoughts are negatively reoccurring. Y'all got to hear that. Over 70% of our thoughts are negatively reoccurring. So what is the downside in that, right? What is the downside, right? So if over 70% of our thoughts are reoccurring negatively every day, that means people are stuck in a rut. That means people are stuck in the same thought process. And if you're stuck in the same thought process every single day when you wake up, that means you're going to receive the same results in your life every day. That means every day you wake up, if you got the same thought process that you had from when you was a child, according to this research, if you got the same thought process that you had when you was a child, you're going to have the same results. So it's super imperative to reprogram my subconscious mind. It's super imperative to rethink your life, because at the end of the day, if you're still thinking the same way you thought 10 years ago, you're going to receive the same benefits of what you've been receiving, right? And they say the definition of insanity is to do the same thing expecting different results. So if you're looking at your life right now and your life is resembling something that you don't want, if you're looking at your life and your life is resembling the same thing you did years ago, if you keep saying, I keep meeting negative people, I keep meeting, every man I meet is a dog, every man I meet is ain't worth shit, right? If you have a thought that every woman I meet is a sack chaser, every woman I meet is trying to take something from me, if you got a mindset of you can't trust people, right? You can't trust people going to do you wrong, right? These are thought processes that we have gained from years ago. The other day I said, you can't allow your past experiences to dictate your present life, right? What does that mean? That means if you went through some stuff when you was younger, because of a relationship, that don't necessarily mean every relationship you're gonna come across is gonna be the same, right? But this is the perspective we hold. Whatever we done went through back in the day, we seem to hold that as our dominating belief system. So if you had a bad relationship, some people are still holding on to stuff that they had over 30 years ago. Think about that. If you're still holding on to something you went through 30 years ago, like me, for instance, y'all know I tell my story. I got molested at the age of between 7 and 8 years old. I remember it vividly. And I remember the stuff that I went through in regards to that. Did you know that even though that happened to me at 7 to 8 years old, by the time I was 24, 25, 26, 27, all my early years in 20s and 30s, and some of the 40s, I was living my life based upon that traumatic experience. Now, granted, you have a right. You have a right to feel something about the things that happen to you. Let me tell you that. You have a right to feel something in regards to past mistakes and past hurts. You got a right to feel that. You honestly do. But let me tell you this. If what you're feeling is stopping you from moving forward now, then it's time to make a change. Right? I found myself suffering through a lot of the stuff that I went through was stuff that was connected to my childhood. Right? So growing up, I was like I said before, I was the slow one, right? I was the one that couldn't run as fast, wasn't as athletic as my two brothers, and the people around me. Like I was the last one to get the dance. Every dance move came out, I was the last one to get it. Telling time, I was the last person in our house to learn how to tell time. I was the last person in our house to learn my timetables. And that was a super, super, super big challenge for me. And I don't know why, but learning them was difficult. I think a lot of times they talk about how in life, they talk about how you, this is scientifically proven. They talk about how most people, they took a test on people they studied people who took tests, right? And the people who every single day they pressed it in their mind, like, I gotta get this test, I gotta remember this stuff, right? They did worse in the test than the person that just said, okay, I'm gonna study this test the day of the test, study it and ease into the test, right? Now, them people did better than the people that every single day they stressed out about remembering this information. They stressed out about retaining the information, right? The people who didn't study as much, barely put any work in, the day before studied the test, they did higher than the people that stressed out cramming information in their mind. Because whatever you resist leaves you. So if you think, I gotta learn this information, I gotta get this information, you stressing out over it. That's not, you're not putting your mind in a state to receive in peace. You're not putting your mind in a state to be able to retain information. You never retain information well under stress. You can never you can never retain information under pressure, right? So anytime we trying to learn something under pressure, we trying to retain something under pressure, it's never going to go well for us, right? Now, fact is, most of us are under pressure every day. Think about how many people are riding through traffic every morning, stressed because they just left a relationship that they don't want, going into a job that they don't really want to be in. More times than not, they're driving a car that they really don't want to be in as well. So everything that's wrapped up in their life at that moment is something that they're not 100% happy with. What state of mind do you think that person going to be in going to work? They're going to be in the fight or flight mode because they just left a situation they don't want to be in. Their husband or their wife fighting all day. They left the house arguing that the kids rushing them to get out to school. Hurry up, y'all always late, pick up this, who spilled this. It's a stress environment. First thing in the morning. You leave that and drop right into traffic. Traffic is in itself, especially if you live in Los Angeles, Atlanta, these places like that, traffic is just what they say, dumb, right? So you wake up in a stressful environment. You get the kids up stressing, hurry up, let's go, and hollering at everybody, right? The kids getting up late, or you getting up realizing I'm going into this job and I can't stand it, right? So either way, you're waking up in a stressful environment. Then you get up, you go to the car, come on, old Bessie, start up. Then boom, the car start up. You need gas. My dang, this dude done took my car and didn't put no gas in it. So you stress over that. You go to the gas station, it's a long line. Now this done made you behind and late. So now you finally get the gas, but you upset because you got up in the stressful situation. The kids didn't get up. The dude didn't come home last night. The girl didn't wash no dishes. Your wife didn't cook last night. She left the food out. All the kitchen messed up. So you wake up in this stressful environment, hollering at the kids. You go into a car that you really don't want to be in. It barely starts up. Then you get in on the road. You don't got no gas. You got to stop. That holds you up, right? And then next thing you know, you jump on the freeway in a rush, but you hit traffic. I'm telling you, like, how most people wake up in America and around the world. Because as we said, over 87% of people wake up every day in relationships and jobs they can't stand. This is factual. I'm not just making up statistics, right? Over 87% of people was surveyed said they hated their job. They hate their job or their relationship. That means over 87% of people waking up every day and stuff they hate. Is that you? Are you waking up today in a stressful environment? But let me tell you something. So now you go on the road, you in the middle of traffic, you stuck in traffic, you mad in that. So once again, your body is in what? Fight or flight. Because anytime you're doing something you hate, anytime you're in a negative mindset, you're releasing what? Cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. Now, the stress hormone, what's significant about that? Because the stress hormone once it's activated, it prohibits the power, the blood, the energy, all that is going to the digestive system or the immune system. Because when you're in flight or flight, when you're in the stress mindset, your body thinks that it needs to get away. So now it's directing all your energy, it's directing all the power, all the blood circulation now goes to your arms and your legs for fight or flight mode, right? But you're not in a life-threatening situation. But the problem is your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. When you're in traffic riding around in stress, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. It thinks you can be getting chased by a lion. The problem is your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference in a stress environment because it only knows one way. And that goes off what you're thinking about, your feelings and your emotions. That's it. Your subconscious mind can't distinguish between a play state, a dream state, or reality. It doesn't know the difference. You can research this. So if your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference in reality or a dream state, all it knows is what is happening. So if you're in a stress or fight or flight reflex, your subconscious mind doesn't know that this is being caused by traffic and not you getting chased by a lion. But the thing is, it still implements the same protocol. See, the body is genius. The body is genius, but yet simple. What do I mean by that? That means the body has ways that it reacts regardless. It's like a programmed reaction. So every time you jump into fight or flight mode, your subconscious mind says, "Oh man, we getting chased by a dog. Let's push more cortisol. Let's push more cortisol in the body because they need energy. They fighting, they're running, so they need power in their arms and their legs. But the problem is, you're in a car. And your subconscious mind don't know that. The problem is you at your job and your subconscious mind doesn't know that. The problem is you in your house with your kids and your family, and your subconscious mind doesn't know that. All it knows is you in stress. So if whether you're getting chased by a lion or whether you're in your house arguing with your spouse or even your kids, whether you getting whether you're about to fall off a cliff or you're stuck in traffic, the same stress hormones are being kicked in. The subconscious mind doesn't realize it. Listen, I keep stressing this point because if we don't get that, if we don't understand how our subconscious mind operates, we'll continue to live in stress. And anytime you continue to live in stress, your body is going to be in fight or flight mode. And anytime your body in fight or flight mode, you can't win because your body is operating against you. Y'all need to understand this. As long as you're in fight or flight mode, your body is going to fight against you. As long as you're in fight or flight mode, that's stress hormone. Let's talk about what's fight or flight mode, because I want us to really get this, man. I want us to really get this. Just inviting a couple people to the live right now. If y'all can share the live, please. Share the live. Share it with somebody on TikTok, y'all. Just send it out. It's only a few of us, but guess what? It's never been a big group to change the world. That's why it don't matter to me if I got one person viewing or 4 million. You know what? Because it's never been a big group to change the world. It's never been a big group to change the world. Once we realize that, we'll stop looking for numbers. We'll stop looking for people to support us and be behind us before we move. Right? So let's get back to it. If we don't realize the power of the subconscious mind, if we don't realize the power of how the subconscious mind is controlling our life, let's read the statistic that we said. Check this out. Check this out. These are statistics. Look, 70 to 90% of chronic illnesses are linked to habitual stress responses. Look, if y'all not shocked at all what you're doing, come on, yo. 70 and 90% of chronic illnesses. You know what chronic illnesses is? That means the stuff that's chronic, like really bad, and not only really bad, but always going through it. If I say this dude's a chronic, if he's a chronic I got to use code words because TikTok will ban me, right? So if somebody's a chronic SMOK, right? ER. If a person's a chronic, that means they do it all the time. They do it heavily. They do it. It's a part of their life all the time, right? So if 70 to 90% of chronic illnesses are linked to habitual stress responses, look, a stuck mindset often leads to chronic stress. The American Institute of Stress reported that 70 to 90% of doctor visits are related to stress-induced issues, often caused by unchanging mental and emotional patterns. Listen, y'all. We got the key right now. You want the fountain of youth? You want the fountain of youth? You want to never be sick in your life again? Sickness is not part of us. Do you know God made us perfect? Do you know God made us perfect? Everything God created was created perfectly, right? It was created in excellence. But guess what? This is why this is important. Some people say, oh, what about the people that was born handicapped? What about the people that was born with something wrong with them? Let me ask you this question. Was the mom in stress while she was carrying the baby? Look, I'm telling y'all now, when you in the stress, fight or flight reflex, if you're in that mode, it's constantly pumping stress hormones, cortisol. It's constantly pumping to your arms and your legs. The thing is, if you're pregnant and you're going through this stress situation, if you're pregnant and you're going through all these stressors, guess what? The baby is going to be subjected to the same thing. The baby is going to be subjected to the stress hormone. And guess what is going to be developed more in the baby? The arms and the legs. Listen, why you think all these NBA players, super tall, super lengthy, be having single mothers? That means the mom stressed the whole pregnancy and it sent all her energy to the baby's arms and legs. And that's why you got kids is coming out huge, because their mom has been stressed the whole pregnancy. The mom was stressed the whole time, right? Think about these NBA players. Think about these athletes. Unfortunately, the majority of them come from broken homes. The majority of them come from single moms. Shout out to the dads that's out there doing their thing, God day to you, because I'm one of them. To the real fathers that's in their kids' life, shout out to you today. If you waking up and you in the same house as your kids, shout out to you. If you waking up and you know exactly where your kids are, they know exactly where you are, even though you're not there, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Yeah, happy Father's Day this weekend. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I can't even see your name. Miller, but thank you for the happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. I forgot. Dang. But listen, this is important. Thank you for the roses. Thank you, Dad. Appreciate that. Listen, this is why this is important. If you keep living in the stress hormone, if you keep living in the fight or flight mode, and when you in fight, people got to really understand you are in fight or flight mode anytime you go into situations you don't like. Anytime you're a part of a conversation you don't like, an environment, anytime you're doing something that you don't like and you're rejecting, but you do it anyway, your body is acting in fight or flight mode. And anytime your body is in fight or flight mode, you push out all these negative enzymes to your body, and it cuts off the circulation, it cuts off the energy and prohibits the energy to your digestive system and your immune system. So next thing you know, like I said, let's go back to the statistic. The American Institute of Stress reports that 70 to 90% of doctor visits are related to stress-induced issues, often caused by unchanged mental and emotional patterns. So we're talking about how to change your subconscious mind and why it's important. Because 70 or 90% of your doctor visits is related to stress-induced issues, often caused by unchanging mental and emotional patterns. So your subconscious mind is what leads to unchanged mental and emotional patterns. Like we said, over 90% of our thoughts are repetitive, right? So if over 90% of your thoughts are repetitive, if you was if you were living in a stress hormone 5 years ago, excuse me, if you was living in a stressful environment 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you learned all these behaviors, you're thinking, scientifically proven, you're thinking the same thoughts that you thought 10 years ago. So if you're thinking the same thoughts that you had 10 years ago, even though you moved your situations, you may have moved jobs, you may have found another man or another woman, you may have moved to another house, you may have got a new car, but if you haven't reprogrammed your subconscious mind, you're having the same thoughts in a new environment, and that's going to make that new environment just like the old. That's why they say you can't run from your issues. You can move to another state. I know people that was on drugs, right? And they said, you know what, skip this, I'm moving. And they just get up and move to another city as if the drug ain't there. As if they just then pack up all their mindset, all their subconscious beliefs, everything they packed up along with their clothes and took it to another state. And guess what? Before you know it, you're going to be exhibiting the same behaviors in that other state. Why? Because you didn't deal with the subconscious programming that created that environment. So we're talking about how it's super important to change your subconscious mind, right? You have to change your subconscious thoughts. You have to change what you so subconsciously programmed. Excuse me. You have to change what you subconsciously programmed. If not, even though you change the environment, even though you change the state, even though you change the situation, even though you change your clothes, you're going to still have the same stinking thinking in a new environment, in new clothes, in a new car, in a new state. So if you don't change your subconscious mind, you will continue to produce the same energetic energy that's going to create the same life. So we have to change our thoughts, y'all. We have to actively program our thoughts over. How do you reprogram your subconscious mind? We talked about that, and we're going to get into it today. But we got to understand, the position that this subconscious thinking is putting us in. Listen, this ain't no joke, y'all. We don't have to be stressed. We don't have to go through this stuff. We weren't meant to go through it. But the traditional medicine is not going to tell you this. They're going to prescribe you a pill. Why? Because that lines their pockets. They're going to give you a pill and say you I forgot the name. Drink some water today, y'all. That's another thing. Over 80% of people dying is because of dehydrated organs. All the stress and stuff they go through every day, and then they not drinking water, they drinking juice and Gatorade, all this stuff with all this sugar and high fructose corn syrup, however you say that junk. All this stuff on top of the stress is killing us. Oh, I can't say that word. All this stress is unaliving us, y'all. Bless you too. Thank you. So I'm telling you like this. If we don't change our thoughts, if we don't change our subconscious mind, we're going to continue to draw what we've been drawing. And then we go to the doctor saying, I'm having heart problems, or I'm in pain, I'm this, I'm that, right? But we just read that over 70 to 90% of doctor visits is related to stress-induced issues, right? People who fail to reprogram stress-producing thought patterns are at a higher risk of hypertension, heart disease, immune dysfunction, and mental illness. Now, this is according to an article published by the American Institute of Stress. I be coming with receipts. I'm coming with receipts. I'm not just talking, man. And listen, we think it's a game. We think it's a game. We want to sit around on TikTok and all this stuff. We want to sit around on all these platforms and post how fly we is and post our food and all this mess. But we walking around stressed. We walking around in situations we don't want to be in. And then wondering why we keep going to the doctor. Conventional medicine is not about to tell you that over 70 to 90% of your visits to them is just because you're stressing. Just because you got a mentality of the same thing that you had a long time ago. What they gonna do? They gonna give you some Percocets or something. They gonna give you some kind of stress pill, some kind of thing to keep you from being in depressed in mode. I gotta watch different words I say. Thank y'all for the roses. Thank y'all for the love. Right? The conventional medicine not gonna tell you, listen, stress is related to over 70 to 90% of your visits to the doctor. They're not going to tell you that. Why? Because they want you to come in there. They want to prescribe you all these pills. They want to prescribe you all this stuff that don't really change the issue. It's just masks the problem. Right? And it's like putting a rug over a dirty floor. Yeah, you got a clean rug, but under that rug, it's still popping. Disgusting. So we have to realize, y'all, this is no joke. We have the ability to change our life. It's in our own hands. And all we have to do is start thinking different, reprogramming our subconscious mind. That's what we talking about. 80% of our thoughts 80% of our thoughts are negative and repetitive when unchallenged. If a person does not work to change their subconscious thinking, research shows that up to 80% of daily thoughts are negative and 95% are repetitive. This reinforces being stuck in a limited mindset. And this was a study done by the National Science Foundation. Cha-ching, receipts, man. This stuff is out here, y'all. But we being distracted by all this other stuff. We being distracted by all this other stuff. But if everybody listening, I don't care if it's one person, two people, we can change. We can change the world. As I told you, it's never been a big group to change the world. It's never been a big group to change the world. It's always been a small core people. So it don't matter to me if I had a whole bunch of people. I need a few people to let's push this mindset to only see what you wish to experience. I want a few people to go tell a few people today that, listen, over 70 to 80% of doctor visits are due to stress-related illness. Over 70 to 90% of doctor visits. 70 to 90% of doctor visits is due to chronic illness. It's due to habitual stress programming. That's huge. I want you also to go tell somebody that research shows that over 80% of our thoughts every day is negative and repetitive. Over 80% of our thoughts are negative and repetitive. That means if you're thinking the same thing, you're going to get the same results. And people wondering why stuff not changing. I'm doing everything I can do. I'm doing everything I can do in life to win, but I keep ending up in the same situation. How do I keep ending up lonely? How do I keep ending up every relationship I get in don't go right? Every relationship I get in, somebody trying to play me. How come I'm always broke? How come every time I get money, it goes right out the door? How come every time something happens, I get it again? And I always say that always happens to me. How come every time I get a car, something happens, it breaks down, I get in an accident, something like this? How come every job I get, people start hating on me? Do you know everything I just named is a reoccurring thought in the subconscious mind and a pattern? And every time you think any of that stuff is going to become your life, as a man thinketh, so is he. Whatever's noble, whatever's pure, whatever's on one accord, whatever's on good tidings, whatever is good and pure, think on these things. Even God told us, you got to think on things that's good. You got to think on things that's pure. You got to think on what you want. You got to see yourself winning in your life. You got to focus and think about winning. You got to see yourself ahead. You got to see yourself in your best life. You got to see yourself in a house you want. You got to see yourself in a healthy, faithful relationship. I challenge anybody. I challenge anybody listening. I challenge anybody listening to go 30 days reprogramming your subconscious thoughts in regards to finding a husband or a wife. For 30 days straight, I want you to write down a blueprint. I want you to write down what you want your husband or your wife to look like. I got receipts with this, what I'm telling you right now. I got receipts that people listen to me. Old black Corey, dumb Corey, flunked the first grade Corey. I got people that listen to this information that I'm telling you right now, did it and got a husband and got a wife. If you want a husband or a wife, right now, I'm going to tell you what to do. And once I do and it work, yo, look out for your boy. Look out for your boy. Look out for your boy, man. I'm about to give you the sauce. People pay millions and millions of dollars for information. And you don't see me on here passing no virtual plate, all these offerings. No, man. I get on here every day and I do it out of my own time. I do it out of my own time. I wake up at 4 a.m, asking God, Lord, what can I say? What do you want people to know? How can I help somebody's life change today? This is what I'm on. How can I help somebody's life change? What could I tell them today to help them win? How can I help them win? And so this is the information I'm telling you. If you want to find your mate, this is what you do. You get a piece of paper, a Post-it card, whatever you want to get, and write down exactly what you want in a mate. See, a lot of us don't have nobody because we don't know who we want. We just say, I just take anybody in the universe. Like, what? The universe. And when I say universe, I mean the Almighty God. Don't get it twisted. I ain't talking about just something up in there, just sparkling in the air. When I say universe, I mean the internal, universal God. It's specific. Think about it. Everything that's ever been created had a blueprint, detailed description on what it was going to be. Right? Everything that's ever been created had a detailed plan on what it was going to look like, how big it was going to be, what was going to be the use of it. If it's a house that we're talking about, they're going to tell you where the bathroom will be, what's in the bathroom. They're going to tell you how big the square feet of the total house. They're going to tell you what the roof look like, if it's sloped, if it's flat. Everything you're going to be able to see from that. You're going to be able to see everything from that blueprint. So I'm asking you this. Have you wrote a blueprint for your life? If everything ever created was based upon a blueprint, what make you think your life is not? What make you think you could just run around and without no blueprint? What make you think you can live like that? Get in a boat without a destination and see where you end up. It can be the best boat in the world. It can be the most expensive yacht. But if you don't enter a destination in that yacht, you're going to be floating around the ocean in a $50 million piece of equipment. So it don't matter how good your life is, how much money you make, how fine you are. If you don't have a detailed plan on what your life going to look like, you're going to be floating aimlessly. And unfortunately, half of the world is floating aimlessly. Half of the world don't even know what they really want to do with their life. And if that's you, if you listening right now, it's no judgment. I'm here to help you be better. I'm here to help us develop a perspective, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm here to develop a perspective, to tell you that you can be great. Welcome to the morning shift for Corey Cofield, where we help shift your perspective to let you know you can have an amazing things. You can have amazing things. I'm gonna block some ignorance. I had to block some ignorance people on here on my live saying dumb junk. Isn't it amazing how when you can be in the middle of getting something that can help change your entire life, and people will come on and start acting dumb. But guess what? Them same people gonna be right where they are while we rising. So I'm telling you right now, nothing has ever been built without a blueprint. Nothing has ever been created without a plan. And so your life is nothing different. Your life is nothing different. You can write a blueprint of what you want your life to be. And if you don't do it, it won't work. Very few people are successful that haven't put a blueprint of what they want their life to be. So like I'm telling you, you want a husband? You want a wife? Ask yourself, have you really ever sat down and wrote a blueprint of what you want that person to be? Or are you just accepting whatever walk up to you? And then you try to make it work. The next thing you know, it don't. Why? Because that was an illegitimate relationship. And God got a way of severing illegitimate relationships. See, some of us, relationships that we've been connected to is being severed. And we don't know why. You upset. You upset, man. But some people weren't meant to be the rest of your life. Some people were meant to be only seasons. Some people was only meant to be in your life for a certain period of time. But you've made a temporary situation a permanent lifestyle. You've made a temporary connection into a permanent relationship. And it was never supposed to be that. Right? So look, we talking about if you want the person that's supposed to be for you, write down what that looks like. You know you don't like smoking. So why wouldn't you say, I want a non-smoker? I want a person that don't drink or smoke. I want a person that loves God. I want a person that put family first. I want a person that's loyal. I want a person that's honest. I want a person that's truthful. I also want a person that's transparent. See, a person that's transparent is different from a person that's just truthful. See, a person that's truthful, you can ask them something and they'll tell you the truth. But if you don't ask them, you ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna know. They won't tell you if you don't ask. And sometimes some things that can hurt you. I don't want a person that don't tell me, right? I want a person that's transparent. I want a person that'll come and say, hey, look, this is what happened. So when you transparent, you volunteer the information. You go to the person like, hey, this is what's going on. So say that you want a person that's transparent. You want a person that's faithful. You want an affectionate. See, I'm a Taurus, right? And I'll be looking up sometimes. Not that I'm not into the signs and all that stuff, and the stars and stuff. I'm not saying they don't have their place, because all through the Bible, God used them, to get different messages across. So I'm not taking that away from that. I'm not taking nothing away from that, but I just don't use that to run my life. That is what I'm saying. But you see people who basically, you got to write down what you want. What do you want that person to look like? What do you want? What are the qualities that you want in that man or that woman? What are the qualities? Right? Thank you for joining the fan club. Appreciate you. What are the qualities of a person that you want? Have you really took the time to do that? Have you took the time to write it out, or you just receiving whatever come to you? You see a girl walking down the street with a big da-da-da-da, a big da-da-da-da, and you run up after her. Hey, baby, get up, and she turn around. You like, God, you feel me? The outside look good, but the inside all muddy. And now you're trying to make it work. You're trying to force a situation. You're trying to make an illegitimate connection connect. It's not going to work. And then you go 5-6 years forcing it to work. So you go all these years trying to force a situation that wasn't meant to work. And before you know it, you get angry in the situation. Next thing you know, you get ornery. Next thing you know, you're looking at him when she wake up. I can't stand that bitch. You looking at him like, look at him, shaped like an oven. You get to talking about fat stomach mother. You feel me? You get to doing all that stuff. That's because you're in an illegitimate relationship that you don't want to be in. Because you're just accepting what comes to you. Listen, I tell people all the time, either you're going to build somebody else's dream or you're going to build your own. Either you're going to be a part of someone else's movie or you're going to shoot your own movie. It's up to you. But when you write your own blueprint out, when you write what you want your life to look like, you got to have a blueprint on many levels. You got to have a blueprint when it comes to your physical life. You got to have a blueprint when it comes to your spiritual life, your emotional life, your romantic life. How do you want it to look? If you don't have a blueprint of what you want your life to look like, you're going to have to accept whatever come to you. And now you're not going to even know when stuff comes. But if you got it wrote down and what you're going to be, then guess what? You're going to get that. So we're talking about if you want to mate, you want a perfect mate. And when I say perfect, I don't mean flawless with no mistakes. That's not what I mean. But I mean it's engineered for you. So what we saying, you got to write down what that person should look like. I already know what mine going to look like. You know what one of the characteristics that my person going to have? She going to know how to cook good as heck. Straight up, because I love food. That's my love language. Right? So I want a woman that loves to cook. I want a woman that loves to prepare amazing food. And guess what? I'm going to be right there like, yes, honey, feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Y'all remember that movie, Little Shop of Horror? I know I'm older than Chinese rice. That movie, Little Shop of Horror, they used to have a flower, used to be talking like, feed me, Seymour. That's how I'm going to be at the kitchen table with my wife. And she gonna be bad. For sure. For sure. Because I don't want to have to be looking at all around. I want to look at my wife like, ooh, shoot. And I want her to look at me like that. That's why I'm getting my butt in the gym and getting rid of this belly. Get in my belly. I'm about to get rid of all that. Shout out to my cousin Karima in Michigan. If y'all want to get rid of y'all belly, look up Karima Jesus. I think that's her last name. Look up my cousin Fight Club, man. I'm going to look it up right now because she's dope. If you want to get in shape, man, holla at her. You feel me? Holla at her. And she the truth. I'm going to look her stuff up, man. If y'all got a business, put it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about it. I think, yeah, here you go. It's my cousin right here. Fight Club Fitness Hub, bruh. She the truth. Karima Jenkins. Look at it. I mean, that's her other name. Look at this. My cousin the truth. Look up Fight Club Fitness Hub. Fight Club Fitness Hub. That's my cousin. That's if you on the that's if you're on the Midwest in Michigan. But anyway, I'm telling you, I got a blueprint of what I want my lady to look like. And like I said, I want her to love to cook. I want her to be, I'm an affectionate person. I love like touch. I love hugging and cuddling. Like, come here. You feel me? I'm in California. I'm in California myself, Jeanette. God day. And so I want my woman to love. I want her to love to be held and caressed and rubbed because I love that. I like that. I like touch. I'm a touchy-feely person. You feel me? So I want a woman that want that. I had a relationship before. The girl didn't like that. You feel me? She didn't like that. The girl didn't like that. She didn't want a hug and all that. You see? I'm asking her, damn, why you? And I'm feeling like the female. Because I'm asking her, damn, we're not emotional. Women normally ask for that. Right? But that relationship didn't work because she wasn't a caring person, not caring, but I'm saying she didn't express emotions. She didn't say I love you, hugs and kisses, all that stuff. She didn't do all that. And I tried to force that for years. Oh, let me fix this light. I tried to force that for years and it didn't work. You feel me? It didn't work. It led to me being in an improper relationship. And so now I know when I wrote that blueprint out now, I'm saying I want a woman that's going to like to cook. I want her to want to love me, man. I want her to like to prepare food. I want her to come home and want to do that kind of stuff. I also want a woman that don't mind allowing me to take the lead when I'm being led by God. That's the key. Allow me to take the lead when I'm being led by God. Not saying she got to fall and do whatever I say. That's not what it is, but I want her to want to be taken care of. I want her to want to be protected and under my wing. That's what I want. I don't want to have to worry about she paying no bills. I'm not a 50-50 dude. That's not me. I feel like a woman. Let me do this, baby. Now, sometimes I may need some help. Sometimes she may say, baby, look, I'll pay this. Don't worry about that. I'll handle the cable. I'll handle the internet or the phone bills, baby. I'm like, dang, that's the kind of woman I want. I also got to have a woman that know what she wants in life, that's doing some things, that got some projects going on. She got to have some stuff going because I got things going. And anytime you connect with somebody you don't have nothing going, they looking at you jealous every time you do something. A lot of us in relationships with people that's jealous of us. And guess what? You're not going nowhere. If you hook to a person that's jealous of you, you got to get rid of that person. People be in relationships with people that's jealous of them. That's crazy. I've been in a few of those relationships. We talking about how to reprogram your subconscious mind. And so what I'm telling you is this. If you want the right mate, you got to write down what that mate you want that mate to look like. I'm talking about put it on a true piece of paper. Write it down. What do you want your man to be? What do you want your woman to be? And once you get that blueprint, I'm telling y'all the sauce. I got receipts to show this stuff works. People who've done it based upon my direction and ended up with a mate. So I'm telling you, if you want to get a mate for the next 30 days, do this. Write down what you want. Like I said, write down what you want on a piece of paper, what you want your mate to look like. And then every single day when you wake up, first thing in the morning, don't jump on your phone, going to no social media. Don't be answering no text threads from your girls that busted open last night, for your dudes that ran around and slung beef all over the town. First of all, cut them people off. If you're around a bunch of people that's always wanting to be at a party, you're going to miss out in life. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to y'all too out there. You're going to miss out on life. You got to connect with people that got things going, high vibrational energy. Let me read. Look, we have a Monday. On Mondays, we have what we call the Mindfulness Mastermind Society. It's a group of individuals that's high vibrating, people who only see what they wish to experience. We meet on Zoom every single Monday, 6:30 p.m. California time. If you want the link, you got to DM me, because we don't put it out like where everybody can pop in and be a distraction. This is a group of individuals. We got doctors, we got producers, musicians, all kind of people, but they all got one thing in common. They operate at a high level. They vibrate at a high level, right? And I'm telling you, I got receipts to show you. Hold on. I'll be on for another hour, so jump on when you can. So I got people with receipts, right? Let me read y'all what somebody just texted me. Listen to this. This is a testimony, man. Listen, I finally told someone why there was no attraction. Hold on, wait. Let me go to this. Peep this. I'm gonna read this. This is what people saying. Because you gotta have proof that your stuff you saying is working. And we got that. You know what I'm saying? We got that. Look what they said. Look what they said. They talked about one of my lives, right? They said, I love how you shifted and added something different. Even the softness in your tone was effective. I'm also glad to see you wearing your merch. Look at that. The Make America Dream Again stuff. I'm amazed at how much I've grown in this short time of knowing you, right? And they said, I finally did something. I finally told someone why I wasn't attracted to them. Once I was able to stop thinking about things personally and not agree with beliefs that I had and that something was wrong with me, I was able to change. I was able to find my voice and courage to say what I needed to say and to change what I needed to change. I don't think I would have had the confidence otherwise. I'm amazed at how much I've learned about myself just by being associated with people who think and operate at a high vibrational level. I feel safe for the first time in a very long time. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of something life-changing. This is a person that's involved in our Monday night meetings. They said they feel safe for the first time in a long time. They said that they whole mindset have changed because they're around people that operate at a high vibrational level. It's important to be around people who function high. It's important to be around people who operate at a high level. So we do that every Monday. If you want to be a part of that, just DM for that. It's called the Monday Mindfest Meetup. The Monday Mindfest Meetup every Monday, 6:30 California time, 9:30 Eastern. We on Zoom. If you want the link, DM me. I'll shoot it out to you. But when you start operating and being around other people that's operating at a high level, you can't help but to operate at a high level. You can't help but to get businesses and own stuff because that's who you're around. So like I said, we're changing the subconscious mind. Let's get to this, y'all. Let's get to this. We talked about how 70 to 90% of chronic illnesses are linked to habitual stress responses. A stuck mindset often leads to chronic stress. The American Institute of Stress reported that 70 to 90% of doctor visits are related to stress-induced issues, often caused by unchanging mental and emotional patterns. People who fail to reprogram stressful producing thoughts patterns are at a higher risk of hypertension, heart disease, immune dysfunction, and mental illness. And this was according to the American Institute of Stress. That's crazy. Listen, only 8% of people achieve their goals without making a mind change. Only 8% of people worldwide complete and achieve their goals without making a mindset change. Look at this. A study from the University of Stanford found that 92% of people fail to achieve New Year's resolutions, largely due to ingrained habits and mental programming that resist change. Without reprogramming the subconscious and shifting limited beliefs, the brain defaults to comfort, avoiding growth and unfamiliar efforts, even if it's good. You hear that? Even if it's good. If you don't reprogram your mind and reprogram your thoughts, only 8% of people worldwide are successful. You don't want that to be you, right? You don't want that to be you. Listen to this. Reprogramming the subconscious mind through practices like mindfulness, cognitive reconstruction, and meditation leads to lower stress, anxiety, and depressive symptoms. In an article published by JAMA International Medicine found that mindfulness meditation significantly reduces anxiety, depression, and pain, showing medium to large effects. So meditating mindfulness, what do that mean? Mindfulness meditation. That means sitting up and just thinking. Just use your mind to see your best life. Remember, I told y'all if you want to mate, write down what you want your mate to look like. And the first thing in the morning when you get up every day, take your time to read that and say, I'm grateful for my mate who is this. And read that list and commit it to memory. And now while you're reading that list, all you got to do now while you read that list is visualize it. Use emotion. Sit there and imagine yourself with your mate. Imagine you and your mate running on the beach happily ever after, holding hands, your hair blowing in the wind. Imagine your mate cooking for you. You at the table, you looking across at the stove, and they over there in the most beautiful piece of lingerie ever. Even the Bible said a bed is undefiled. So if you got a mate, y'all supposed to live it up, man. Y'all supposed to do everything under the sun together. You don't want your mate going nowhere else, right? So you want to do the stuff that please them. So I picture my wife at the stove with a piece of lingerie on, looking like a bag of looking like a bag of candy, right? So you got to imagine this stuff. Visualize yourself working in the most amazing place ever. What did I say? Oh, word. You say somebody, PKR say I love. Okay. You said you love to cook and you love hugs. Okay, we're going to see. But check it out. This is what I'm telling you. Debbie, you look, I promise you, y'all, I got a vision in my mind of what you want your life to look like. We talk about how to reprogram the subconscious mind. So how do you reprogram the subconscious mind? Let's look up some ways. Let's look up some ways to how to reprogram the subconscious mind. Watch this. 3 ways to reprogram the subconscious mind easily. We're going to look up ways to reprogram the subconscious mind. Easy ways. Now, one of the fastest ways to reprogram your subconscious thoughts is through repetition of positive affirmations, right? Remember what I told you? You write down what you want it to be, right? You write down what you want your life to look like. And then you repetitively think about it. You put it in your mind, and then you say it. You speak it out loud, an affirmation. I am amazingly blessed. I have a mate that loves me, that I can trust, that only loves me. I love a mate that loves to go out and travel the world and love me. I got a mate that loves to eat good and to travel and to buy fine clothes and wear the best clothes. We do not argue. We talk. We are not, we have functional relationships. We have an amazing conversations, right? You make these affirmations and you write them down. And then you repeat them over and over again. Not only just repeat them, but you live them in your mind over and over again, right? Listen to this. Why does repetition and positive affirmations work? Repeating affirmation, especially repeating affirmations, especially with emotion and consistency, gradually overrides negative subconscious beliefs and installs new mental patterns. So you got a mental pattern that's running in our mind. We got a mental program that's running in our minds. And like we said, up to 90% of our thoughts are reoccurring. So how do you take these reoccurring thoughts and change them? You have to reprogram them. You got to wire a new belief system. And you do that through repetition. The only way the subconscious mind learns is through repetition. Just like you learned your ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. If I told you to say your ABCs right now, most of us would go right into that song. A, B, C, D, right? That's because we learned. Our subconscious mind has a pattern of how it learned. And now that's how you repeat it. So your subconscious mind has to learn the way that it does. And that's through repetition, right? Look at this. Saying I'm worthy and capable every morning and night helps replace limited thoughts with empowering ones. And this is a tip. Speak them out loud with emotion in front of a mirror. Do that for 21 to 66 days straight. And I guarantee you, whatever that thought will be will become your life. Right? Studies show that self-affirmations activates the brain's reward center and builds resistance against stress. Come on, man. This was published in the magazine, The Social Cognitive Effects of Neuroscience. It says studies show that self-affirmations activates the brain's reward center and builds resilience against stress. We're talking about how to reprogram the mind through repetition and affirmations, right? That's one way. Here's another way, visualization. That's called mental rehearsals. That's when I told you, y'all. I just talked about that. That's when you visualize what your mate gonna look like. That's when you take your time and you literally see in your mind yourself doing whatever you want to do with whoever you want to do it with. You visualize it. And don't just see it, but evoke the emotions that comes behind it. Right? The emotions, like get happy. How would you feel if you and your mate right now was running up the beach? Every bill you got paid. Every bill you got paid, you don't got to pay nothing. Think about that. You don't got to pay nothing. Everything is paid, man. How would you feel? And you with your fine mate, and y'all on an island somewhere with a Mai Tai. If you don't drink, version Mai Tai. But I'm gonna have some of that sauce in mine. I'm gonna have some of that sauce in mine. Flat out. And so I'm on an island with Mai Tai. Like I said before, beautiful women feed me grapes. Gotta fan me with a big leaf. I'm sitting up there like, yes. Visualize it, man. You deserve it. I'm joking, but no, you deserve it. Don't you know you deserve it? You've been going your whole life, man. You've been believing your whole life. You've been believing your whole life. You deserve to be on an island with the best food, with the perfect person, man. You deserve that. And it's okay. See, the world want to tell you, no, just live modest. Just get modest. No, modest. I'm balling. I don't care. I'm balling. Flat out, I'm balling. One of my friends told me the other day, like, they said, yeah. I said, right now, it was like 11 at night or something. And I'm like, right now, we're on the phone. I'm like, right now, this when I need my chef to call him like, hey, yo, can you make me some food? And it was like, no, I don't know. I don't want them to feel like, like I'm being bougie or something. I said, what? That's what they paid to do. You make all the extra money to pay people to be there when you need them. It's okay. See what I'm saying? That was a mindset like, dang, I don't want to be too, but no, you deserve it. Don't you know we kings and queens? Don't you know that we were built for royalty? Don't you know you deserve the best? Don't you deserve the best man ever? Don't you know you deserve a man to make your bath water, to massage your feet when you come home, to rub your body down with the most expensive oil ever, to rub your scalp and to rub your hair down, baby, rub your body, just relax, baby. I got you. Rub every part of your body, massage your hands, your temples, your scalp, give you a hot oil massage. You think you don't deserve that? Ladies, fellas, you don't think you deserve that? Somebody said, please, as soon as possible. You want a chef? Exactly. We got chefs. That's what you deserve. But if you don't program your mind to realize that you deserve that, you will never get it. If you can't visualize yourself with it, you will never have it. So we're talking about how to reprogram the subconscious mind. Visualization. The brain doesn't distinguish between real and vivid imaginations. Y'all understand that? This is why visualization works. Because the brain doesn't distinguish between real and vivid imaginative experiences. Visualizing success, confidence, and healing strengthens the same neurological pathways as actual performances. Do y'all understand how powerful the mind is? I just told us the subconscious mind it can't distinguish between what's real and what's a vivid imagination. It doesn't know the difference. So visualizing success, confidence, healing, it strengthens the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing it. Y'all see how powerful that is, yo? You can imagine yourself doing something. And your body will respond as if you were doing it because it doesn't know. Let me tell you about a study, man. This is a study right here. Now, this gonna blow your mind. A study was done of two people involving a piano. Listen, one person took lessons every single day. They went and sat down with a piano teacher, and they sat there and they learned the piano every single day for 30 days straight. The next person sat in a room and visualized their self playing the piano and learning all the notes and playing all the songs. They did that for the same time as the person who actually sat down with the teacher. And did you know that the person that visualized it after the 30 days knew how to play the piano better than the person that actually went out and done the lesson? Do y'all realize that? That's diabolical. So a person's mind is more effective than a person that's actually doing it. This was a study done. The person that sat down and imagined and visualized themselves learning a song and visualized themselves playing every single note as if they really did it was more effective than the person that actually sat down with a teacher every day and did it. Did y'all hear that? That's how powerful your subconscious mind is. That's how powerful your mind is, man. Your mind is powerful, and whatever it sees becomes your reality. That was the gift God gave us, y'all. God gave us a gift, and the ultimate gift that God gave us was your mind. The ability to be able to produce a tangible resource from a subconscious thought. And listen, this is not too far-fetched. Just imagine, y'all, everything ever made came from an idea. Everything ever created was an idea in somebody's mind. This phone we're on, those little hearts y'all tapping, thank you for the little hearts. Let me give myself some hearts, man. If you can't support yourself, who can support you? I'm on TikTok too, y'all. Do me a favor, y'all. Run over to YouTube and subscribe for me. I'm building my YouTube presence because that's where most of my content going to be is Corey_Cofield. Corey_Cofield. The greatest gift God gave us was the power to create. And the power to create is in the mind. Some of us been building for a long time and you don't feel like it's been working. But let me tell you something. I always say this. It takes longer to build a skyscraper than it does a chicken coop. It takes longer to build a skyscraper than it does a chicken coop. So some of us are waiting and waiting, and we're building, and we like, why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Because you're building a skyscraper. You want to build a chicken coop? Be my guest. I'm skyscraping. I'm skyscraping. If y'all want a skyscraper, comment skyscraper. Please. Comment skyscraper. Even if you're at work, sneak skyscraper. Come on, man. I ain't moving along until I see one skyscraper in my comment. I got one. Skyscraper. Skyscraper. I'm going to do it like this for y'all who love church. Skyscraper. 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 Maybe if I do it like the church, y'all will like it. I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. Ooh, I promise this water too. Somebody say you wrong. Be like, I love you. I love you. Okay. Listen, man. I'm having fun, y'all, but I promise you this is the truth. If you want to build a skyscraper, understand it's going to take a process. It's going to take you longer to build it. You're not throwing together some bull crap. You're building a legacy that's going to change generations. So yes, it's going to take longer, but you're building a foundation. Think about all them things. If the foundation is not proper, it don't matter what you put on it. I'm out here in California, right? And you got people who build houses on sand, right? They go to the beach and they build these houses right on the water, on sand, and the minute a big thing happen and the water rise, the house fall. They done put a $10 million house on sand. What do you think gonna happen soon as the tide come in? Soon something hit you. Soon as a problem come up, they falling. Their base is not what it should be. But you building a foundation that's going to last. You're building a foundation that generations going to be able to sit on. Don't you know that's a different process, y'all? I'm so hungry. My mind just clicked in. Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm so hungry. I wish I had some breakfast. I wish I had some breakfast right now. I don't know. I that was a little side note, y'all. That was a side note. I'll be real, man, when I'm telling y'all. So we talking about 3 ways. Somebody say, come get it. Be like, you in Florida, right? Debbie. Look at Debbie. She's healthy. She's telling me to eat grapes and fruit. I want some grits. Bacon and eggs. Cheese rice. Grand biscuits with butter. Oh, my God. How many know the grand biscuits, yo? Y'all remember Grand and Vic? I get the flaky. I don't like regular bacon. I eat it sometimes, but y'all need to go to Costco. They got turkey bacon. Turkey bacon from Costco is the truth, the way, and the light. Straight up. Whew, Jesus. When this live finish, when I tell you I'm eating right away, Johnny's pastrami. Yes. It's this place called Johnny Pastrami's that I found about the other day. Pastrami sound was so gas. Oh my God. I'm going there today. Johnny Pastrami. I'm going there today. You made great. I just made grand biscuits, eggs. Somebody on the live just made that. Listen, somebody, there go my Cash App. CTE Cash. CTE Cash, if the Lord speaks to you to get some breakfast. There it is. CTE Cash. I'm got it right here too. I'm waiting for a come on, y'all. I'm waiting for a somebody say, go have some breakfast on me, Corey. And I'm gonna say, may the Lord increase your years and not your waistline. Yo, listen, we talking about I know I be going off, y'all. Listen, visualizing mental rehearsal is a way to change the subconscious mind. The brain doesn't distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. Visualizing success, confidence, or healing strengthens the same neural pathways as actual performing it. Athletes and CEOs visualizing victory or success outcomes daily. And here's a tip. Use all 5 senses. Feel it, believe it, and see it all at the same time. Why y'all still talking about food on TikTok? It was so good. I'm so hungry. Jeez. Number 3 ways of how to change your subconscious mind is meditation and mindfulness. We talked about that. Meditation helps to access the subconscious mind, reduce mental noise, and increase neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself. Y'all ever heard you can't teach a dog you can't teach an old dog new tricks? That's a lie. That's a lie. Meditation and mindfulness can change the subconscious mind. Neuroplasticity. You know what that means? Neuroplasticity. That's the brain's ability to rewire itself. The brain is so powerful through subconscious practices and meditation. You can actually teach an old dog new tricks. See, they try to put these little things out there to make us stop trying. You can't teach your old dog new tricks. I've heard that many times. That's they telling you to stay stuck. They want you to stay stuck. You love hugs and you respect kisses. Punkin, let me see what Punkin look like out here. I can't see. Punkin, are you a bot? Are you a bot or are you a real person? I want to know. So look, meditation, it helps access the subconscious mind. It reduces mental noise and increases neuroplasticity. That's the brain's ability to rewire itself. So you can reform old habits. You can change old habits. You can teach an old dog new tricks. And this is how you do it. 10 to 20 minutes a day. Take your time to stop and practice mindfulness, a guided subconscious meditation. That means what I told y'all about. Sit down for 10 minutes and just visualize yourself doing new stuff. Imagine yourself doing new things. Start to do stuff a little different. If you get up every single morning on the right-hand side of the bed, tomorrow get up on the left-hand side. Every time you do something new, you create a new neurological pathway. Every time you do something new, it stimulates the brain into learning. So if you wake up every morning, you normally brush your teeth with your right hand. Just the fact of you using your left hand to brush your teeth, your brain jumps into a new state. Like, anytime it does something that's out of the routine. Anytime you do stuff out of the routine, right? This is my son calling me, y'all. Watch this. What's up, buddy?
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
How'd you sleep?
Good.
Did you manifest last night?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
You see that, y'all? Say hi to Copious, y'all. I'm on live, Copious. Say hi to my live audience. Copious.
Hi.
Say hi, y'all.
Hi.
Y'all remember Copious the what? You ready to pray, son?
Yeah.
We pray every day together, man. And y'all, this is the first time we done it, but I'm on here and I'm gonna do it because that's what we do. So God, thank you for Copious. Thank you for Ashley and Kayla. Thank you for watching over them as they slept last night. Thank you that Copious has an amazing day today. Thank you that he's connected to the people that he's supposed to connect to. Thank you for divine connections and supernatural appointments for my son, God. I love him, and thank you that he's blessed and favored, and every thought he has is positive. I love you, son. Hello? All right, I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. So you gotta raise your kids in the way that they should go. So I teach Copious. Y'all remember Copious from the other day. I'm reading some comments. What you say, Sharon? Is Sharon one of our Mind Fest members? Boy, she blowing up. I'm telling you, we said that is a lie. The same time. Oh, for real? Exactly. Somebody said they got an old dog. They said my dog old and I teach him new tricks all the time. See what I'm talking about? And so listen, mindfulness meditation is just sitting back and visualizing what you want your life to be. And then you get emotionally attached to it too, right? So you attach emotions to it. You imagine what it feels like to have it and invoke the emotion. Be happy. How would you feel right now if you had $1 million in the bank and you with your favorite person in the world? How would you feel? I'm sorry, PKR. I'm my bad, baby. She told me, don't call me no bot. Ain't no AI about me, bruh. She checked the mess out of me. Okay. My bad, PKR. What's your real name? What PKR stand for? So look, let me tell you this. Take 10 to 20 minutes a day. Breathe breath-based mindfulness. What that mean? You take deep breaths. This is you taking deep, full breaths while you're envisioning what you want for your life. Do that 10 to 20 minutes a day. Right? And eventually you'll start to reprogram your subconscious mind. I'm not giving y'all all the sauce on how to do it right now. Right? We'll go more into it. Y'all got to follow, man. Y'all got to follow to get the sauce. Y'all got to follow to get the sauce. Wait, did you say tea and tequila? Is that what that said? All right, buy the book. Thank you. Yo, y'all go cop my book, man. Go to CoreyCofield.com. Follow Your Yellow Brick Road. Your passion leads to your provision is the book. Y'all can go support me. Do I got a copy over there? Let me see if I got a copy. Hold on. Yep. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Da-da, 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 da-da. Da-da-da-da. Follow Your Yellow Brick Road by Corey Cofield. This is one of the best books ever written. And I'm just saying that because somebody told me that. Many people said this book changed their life. This book right here, Follow Your Yellow Brick Road, Your Passion Leads to Your Provision, is available from my website. Somebody on here, look, lady, what's up? They said they enjoyed the book. This book teaches you how to find your passion, and it shows you how to get back to it. It also talks about the reprogramming the subconscious mind, how to change your subconscious mind, man. It's very important. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. And if you keep thinking junk, you're going to keep receiving junk. But the biggest gift, I told y'all before, the biggest gift God gave us was your mind. God gave us the same ability he has. When he said, God brooded over the face of the deep. In the beginning, God contemplated what he wanted to do. And then he said, let there be light. Then he did it. So we got to put in our mind a blueprint of what you want. You put in your mind a blueprint of what you want. And then you think about it. And then you go achieve it. Listen, every single thing that God ever gave you to do was meant for you to do it. Everything that you thought of in your heart was meant to happen, and it was meant to work. God didn't give you gifts just to play with you like you a game. He wants you to do it. So today, y'all, I want everybody operating at a high frequency. What does that mean? Shut down the junk. Shut down the junk. If people talking foolish, disconnect yourself. Monitor what you're thinking. Monitor what you're thinking at all times. Because your thoughts, remember. Thank you. Deanne say, don't forget to mention perspectives. See, this book is written in perspectives. See this? This is the barcode to go get the book. Right? So this book is written in perspectives because your perspective, see that? Perspective 1 all the way down. The wrong perspective. It talks about what your perspective is, how your life going to be. So if you think life is hard and money don't grow on trees, you're going to experience difficulty when it comes to finances. One of my favorite perspectives is perspective 4 on page 22. Perspective 4. You're not here to struggle. Be fruitful and multiply. God designed you and the universe to thrive, grow, and flourish at all times and in all ways. There is no downtime, famine, or drought, only abundance. Think about it. Everything that was been created to exist in abundance. Consider how the grass grows in abundance. Trees are everywhere. Birds, worms. There's even an abundance of roaches. Think about that. Everything is in abundance. What makes you different? What makes you think you weren't meant to live and operate in abundance? We're just like one of the things being created on earth. Everything else works in abundance, and there's plenty of it. There's even plenty dirt. Think about it. See, if your perspective is lack, if you think that it's tight, if you think it's a drought, if you think that we're in a recession, if you believe in those concepts, then them concepts would be your life. I don't believe in recession. It can't be a recession. How? We serve God. God will make a desert God will make an oasis in the middle of a desert. It's times God made water come from a rock. One time I didn't have money, and God told me to go out and just tell people about God. I was walking the streets, did that. I went in this coffee shop one time, and this white guy I didn't even know pulled out a lot of money. He asked me, what do you do for a living? I said, this. He gave me $1,000 right on the spot. And you know what he told me? Keep doing it. So I'm telling you, provision can show up without you having to necessarily do the traditional things you think. Because everything God made was in abundance. And if you have a perspective of abundance, you'll receive abundance. Listen, dirt is the lowest thing ever. People hate dirt, and everybody looking to get rid of it. People take baths because of dirt, wash clothes because of dirt, wash walls, cars, and even windows because they're dirty. Regardless, dirt is still everywhere in abundance. Tell me, if dirt is made in abundance, how much more abundant are you? How much more were you meant to live in abundance? You weren't put here to struggle. You were meant to live in abundance. Have you ever seen a bird walking around like, man, I gotta feed these little bird kids? Huh? Have you ever saw a bird sitting in a little bird bar taking shots like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this internet? Birds don't do that. They just are naturally provided for. Birds are just, who feeds them? They don't die of hunger, do they? No, because God provides for everything he creates. And you were created by God. He'll provide for you just like he do a bird. Do you really think a bird more important than you? Do you think a bird more important than you? No. But if you got a perspective that money is tight, this is what you're going to experience. So once again, this book, that was chapter 4. It's a lot more on that too, y'all. Go pick up the book, because I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. It's going to put you in the right perspective. And without the right perspective, you can't win. Look at the custom merch. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, baby. Make America dream again. That's the plan. I'm helping us to see things the right way. Right. Yo, you ever heard of a bird bath? Somebody on TikTok saying a bird be clean too. A bird don't worry about taking no bath. You ever saw a bird, his little puddle of water just happened to be there and a bird there flickering in it? God provided that puddle. Birds don't worry about that. They don't worry about how they're going to eat the next day. They don't. Look, man. Stop worrying about your life. You're going to be okay. Thank you, Dad. Go over to the website, CoreyCofield.com, to get your custom merch. To get your custom merch, your Do Not Disturb hoodies, to Make America Dream Again hats. We got it all on CoreyCofield.com, my website. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all, we've been on here 2 hours. In about 3 minutes, it'll be 2 hours and we logging off. But I'm going to tell you this while I'm getting out of here. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. God didn't give you dreams for nothing. God say, trust me. I haven't forgot about you. God say, trust me. I know the plans I have for you. God say he knows the plans he has for you. Plans to prosper you. Plans to give you an acceptable end. That means you win. That means you can't lose. Y'all know I got to keep putting this on my lips because I got my family be watching sometime. They'll screenshot me with some white lips and send it in the family chat. Look at this dude looking like Pookie. God ain't forgot about you. Trust the process for your life. And whatever situation you find yourself in right now, know it's a product. It's a product of what you've been thinking. So change your thoughts and change your world. Change your thoughts and change your world. And y'all can start by pulling up with us every Monday. Every Monday, like I said before, we on Zoom. It's called the Mindfulness Meetup. It's hosted by the Mindfulness Master Society. The Mindfulness Master Society. What is that? That's a group of individuals that have committed to using their mind to create their life. That realize that they got to operate at a high level. Remember, I just read the review from one of the Mindfulness members. They said their life has changed since they started going. Right? We every Monday, 6:30 p.m. PST. That's California time. That's 8:30 if you in Texas. And that's 9:30 if you in Michigan. We there every Monday. We start a new series called Money is My Friend. We start a new mastermind series for the next 4 weeks. Money is My Friend. To talk about our relationship with money. Remember, our perspective when it comes to money. A lot of us have perspectives that don't allow us to grow. A lot of us have perspectives that don't allow us to gain financial security because of fear, doubt, all kind of stuff. But we're going to dive into that really deep starting Monday for the next 4 Mondays. And that's taught by one of our Mindfulness members, Brittany Reeves. Brilliant young lady. She got a powerful way she thinks, and she's going to help us develop the right mindset when it comes to finances and money. Did you know you were meant to have it? Did you know you were meant to live your best life? Huh? Shout out to my Atlanta people. Hey, shout out to my Atlanta people. God day. Thank y'all for checking us out from Atlanta. Shout out to my Michigan people. You feel me? Is checking us out on TikTok. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, y'all. This is Mindfulness Morning Show. I done said the wrong name. Thank you, Sharon. Somebody said they got one of the Make America Dream Again hats yesterday. Pink. It showed up. She bought one. Thank you for your support, Sharon. Much love. Much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all go to CoreyCofield.com. Get the merch. Get the merch, y'all. If y'all can. Get the merch. If you want to sew into us to help us produce different merch, help us produce content that's changing the world, you can do that through Cash App, CTE Cash. That's Cat Thomas Edward Cash, CTE Cash, man. You know, we appreciate the support. Like I say, we do this every day. We here. We don't charge nothing. But if you feel like you want to support, man, we put that out there for you. Thank you so much. Or you can get the book. Another way to support, you can go to Amazon and get that book or you can go to my website, CoreyCofield.com, to get the book. Either way, you know what I'm saying? You can get it. You can show support. So we appreciate y'all being here today. To recap, just quickly, 3 ways to change your subconscious mind to improve emotional and mental health. Right? Is to do meditation. Do meditation. Do different things that create a new mindset the way you want. Right? First thing you do, repetition, positive affirmation. That's the way to do it. Right? Visualization practices. It's called mental rehearsal. See yourself operating in the stuff you want to do. Thank you, Michelle. Block every fool. Block them. Visualization, mental rehearsal. That's the second way. The third way is meditation and mindfulness. Take 10 to 20 minutes a day to see yourself doing whatever you want to do. Right? That's what mindfulness is. So we out of here, y'all. I so appreciate y'all. Don't forget, go get your book, man. Run over to Amazon or my website, CoreyCofield.com. I need your support. Thank you so much. Get the book. Help us change your life. Thank you for listening to the Morning Shift with Corey Cofield, where we shift your perspective. We aim to be here every single day. Every single day. If you don't see us, just know we have some things to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. We made it to 40,000 likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 40,000 likes. God is amazing. Thank y'all for the support, man. Listen, share the live with somebody. Share the live with somebody you think there might be help from it, man. We here. You have a great weekend as well. And it's Father's Day. I forgot all about it. Somebody said it on here. It's Father's Day. I'm like, oh. So thank y'all, man. We appreciate y'all so much. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing God day. See how much stuff we get on. We get on early, y'all. Jump on with me at 5:30 a.m. California, right? Jump on early, because think about it. Now we got all this knowledge. We got all this good energy, y'all. Thank you. We got all this good energy. And now we about to go conquer the day. So God, thank you for every person that watched. Thank you for every person that's listening. Thank you that our destinies are irrevocable. Thank you for divine connections, supernatural appointments. Thank you that we meet the people that's conducive to pushing us forward. Thank you that we meet the people that's help us jump the line. Thank you that what once took years would take days. And what once took days would take hours. And what took hours would take minutes. And what take minutes would take seconds. So we are available for your supernatural blessings, God. We appreciate you and we love you. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.